This is Dads and Dunks, your To The Point Wolves Talk podcast. I'm Tom.
And I'm Josh.
And Josh, holy what a game. We have storylines to talk about. I'm speechless at this point, so you're just going to need to take it over. The win last night was amazing. Up late, up early. And then we got to talk about just all the storylines of not only the game, but the series, which, man, there's a lot of them. So Josh, let's kick it off. Let's go.
It is Friday morning. We stayed up and watched the game Thursday night, and then we did dad things, and we're doing some work things, and we're doing some podcast things. That was one of the most enjoyable watches of my Wolves fandom. I am 38 years old, almost 39. That was awesome. So just people know we're going to talk about the game. We're going to talk about all the players, everybody who touched the court, because they all had positive impacts. Then we're going to talk a little about this series. We're going to wrap it up with a nice little bow, and we'll go from there. So I had such a great time watching that game. That was so fun. I am so proud of our team. I can't believe they won. It was an inspiring effort. I mean, again, we'll talk about all the players. There's really no reason that we should have won that game. I think they talked about this on the broadcast. A playoff team that's missing 3 guys who've scored 10 or more points a game have never won a game, let alone a playoff series. You think about Ant, Ayo, and Donte, that's like 60-ish points a game. That is like 95% of your backcourt minutes. I love it. What a great team win. So fun. We're going to focus on the Wolves, but I got to say, like, if I'm a Denver fan, what an embarrassing, horrible loss. Like, I know I'm punching down, but like, you guys deserve this. You guys suck. Jamal Murray just absolutely like fell apart. I love it. I'm here for it. Go Wolves.
I didn't do it on purpose a few pods ago when I said Jamal Murray has a fragile soul, and I know you got a kick out of it. And
He does.
This just shows it. Jaden McDaniels. Do you want to start with him in this game? Is that who we want to start with for storylines? Or I'm open to whatever, but
we have to start with Jaden. So Jaden McDaniels, I'm just going to read his stat line, then we can talk about it, because he played better than his stat line, and his stat line is maybe his best stat line of his career when you think about the context, the importance of the game. Played 45 minutes, 32 points on 25 shots, 10 boards, 3 assists. This is going to be a common theme, the thing I'm going to say next, 0 turnovers. He also had 2 steals. He had a block. He was plus 16 in those 45 minutes. Again, the Wolves won the game, 110-98. We were down 1 after the first quarter. We were up after the second. We never let go of it from there. But Jaden McDaniels, 45 points, career high 32 points, 10 boards, 3 assists, no turnovers. He locked up Jamal Murray. To your point, fragile soul Jamal Murray was 4 for 17. He was a minus 18 in his 40 minutes. So Jaden McDaniels, treacherous. Jaden McDaniels, Tom, when we first started going to Wolves games together, when we had to mask up in the special seats, I said, hey, this guy's going to be amazing. And
you did. And I was like, what are you talking about? Because I was a Wolves fan, and then I was like not as into the Wolves, I was into them, but not as into them as you were.
You had very
clearly.
little children at the time.
Yeah, I was COVID and a small child and a newborn and everything else. So a lot going on there. But you were very graciously started inviting me to games, and I was like, we were in the seats, just spread apart from people with the masks on, the whole thing. It was wild. But you were talking about Jaden McDaniels. I'm like, I don't get it. I was watching him. I'm like, seems like he's fine. And you were just like, no, he's going to be great. He's going to be great. And I was like, man, okay, I trust you, I guess. Like, he's got to develop. I was like, he doesn't seem like he's got much of a bag. And this year he's got a bag, man. From last year to this year, like, his defense was amazing, but I will say his leap, not even just in this game, but all year, he showed it last night. Early on in the season, we saw it when Ant was out. He stepped up. Julius stepped up early in the season, but Jaden McDaniels showed what he could do early in the season when he got that time. And 44, almost 45 minutes of playing time, that's a long game.
What if, to your point, I mean, he did it both ways. Like, not only is he locking up Jamal Murray, but he scored, let me see. he was the game's leading scorer. He had 32 points. And it felt like, I mean, there were possessions where he was like amped. Like he was like, I am not passing the ball. I'm going to attack this guy. He can't stay in front of me. It's like, and we'll talk about Shannon, but I feel like they were both kind of just like lining up their defenders. Like, all right, just going to do a couple dribbles. I'm going to get you off balance. I'm going to go. And I'm bigger. I'm better. I'm more athletic. Oh my gosh, the Jaden McDaniels experience. I mean, he is Scottie Pippen.
Yeah, Chris Finch shouted him out in the post-game presser right off the top. Jaden McDaniels, like, he talked a lot and he backed it up, is basically what he said. And he was like, and defensively, he locked down Jamal Murray. He said he thinks Jamal had scored maybe four points or something when Jaden was the primary defender. And then, yeah, in that post-game too, he shouted out the rebounding advantage for us too, which was just like effort. And I think that that's a big storyline of the game too. Jaden clearly brought that effort, but the whole team brought that energy. Shout out to the Target Center crowd for bringing that energy too. That place looked electric. I wish I could have been there. I'm speechless with the Jaden McDaniels stuff. This is his coming out party. This is like, the world now knows about Jaden McDaniels, in part because he talked a lot.
But he backed it up. I mean, people are talking about like, oh, he's like the Dylan Brooks. He's the this. They're saying like negative things. Okay, Dylan Brooks. I think he was on either the Rockets or the Grizzlies. Remember when they were playing the Lakers in the playoffs and he talked all that smack about LeBron? And then Dylan had a bad game and then he didn't talk to the media afterwards. Like, because he's a loser. Jaden McDaniels said his piece. He backed it up. He kept talking to the media. He didn't back down. I mean, Jokic tried to get in his face. Jaden just laughed at him. I mean, again, I think Jaden broke Jokic. Jokic had some baby moments last night as well. But, you know, back to your point, I feel like we won all the hustle stats. So again, we had 50 boards. They had 33. We had 8 steals. They had 4. They had 13 turnovers. We had 8. We had 13 fast break points. They had 7. We had 64 points in the paint. They had 40. We were plus 24 in the paint. I just felt like anything that involved like hustle, desire, effort, tenacity, like we just lapped them. And when it came to that in the game, they had better players. They had better players playing more minutes than we did. Didn't matter.
It didn't. And Jalen Clark had a negative plus minus, but I did love that he was just ready to throw down. Jaden was like, I'll throw down with Jokic. Clark was like, I'll throw down Jokic. I'm not afraid of you. I just think that just that energy, that level of like, just F you add like energy. Oh man.
Yeah, I mean, Jalen Clark,
So
to your
fun.
point, played 12 minutes. He was -3. He hit 1 3. He definitely airballed a 3. But I thought in the first half, like, he put Bruce Brown in hell. He, like, couldn't dribble the ball. I don't understand why he got called for that foul with Cam Johnson on the sideline. I mean, yeah, he, like, got close to him, but, like, Cam Johnson just, like, crumpled to the floor. And then when he got into it with Jokic, which I wish they would have showed the replay from the other side, Jokic clearly, like, hooked his arm. Like, so Jalen, like, it looks like a foul, but Jalen can't move his arm. And then people watch this. I'm sure everyone watched the game, but it's like he kind of pushes Jokic, and then Jokic, like, pushes him, but tries to, like, fall on him.
He, like, pushes and does yeah.
But honestly, I think that, like, ignited our team. Like, Nas got pissed. Nas pushed him. I mean, everybody got in there.
Nas sprinting in to push him. Do you want to talk more about Jalen, or should we go to Nas? Because we could just talk about this game the whole time and recap. But do we want to go, like...
Jalen Clark... Amazing effort. We appreciate you. You gave us 12 minutes. You were -3. I don't care, man. I feel like you changed the tenor of the game. You got the crowd amped. What I think they should throw him in against the Spurs. We'll talk about the Spurs in another pod, but like throw him in for 2 minutes. What can he do to De'Aaron Fox? Throw him in for 2 minutes. What can he do to Dylan? Like I love what he brings. The team gets amped. But yeah, if you want to go to Nas, tell me more about Nas.
We were waiting for Nas to have a good game, and I would say he did, right? But plus 11 for Nas. We were like, we really need Nas to show up.
34 minutes
is really good for him. 7 rebounds, that's good. That's a good number for Nas. Also, I really love, and I just can't help but think if we have to offload Julius, the Nas to Rudy connection. When you see that, I remember last game too, in this game, that lob where Nas can take him off the drive because he's so quick with his feet. He's not backing people down like Julius. So when he takes around the corner and then he sees Rudy for a lob, that just ignites things too. When you see a big to big lob connection to Rudy, just feels good to me because Nas, everyone was kind of down on him. He's been playing hurt. I don't think his stat line was amazing, but I would say 15 points and 7 rebounds, 4 assists. That's a really good game. That's a good game. And you had especially Jaden stepped up and we got to talk about the TJ Shannon experience too. Anything else on Nas? I'm trying to keep us moving because there's so many people to talk about and so many storylines. I don't want this pod to be an hour and a half because we try to do, to the point Wolves Talk podcast here, but
I'll keep it short. I loved when he came in the first half. I thought he hit a couple nice shots. He hit that 3 in the second half when we needed it. We just had less guys who could score, and it felt like we needed Nas, and he came in and he has that ability, and he did that. He played big. The 7 boards I thought was key. I thought he had a really good game, 34 minutes, didn't get into foul trouble. I really appreciate his contributions. We don't win without him. Okay, what about your boy Bones? Did he get hurt? I felt like he was really messing with his leg. He had that sleeve.
He was hurt. The pregame, they put him on the questionable list, and I was like, no. When I saw he was questionable, and then just to talk about everybody that was out, I think we sort of skipped over this in the game. We'll talk about this in this series, but no Ant, no DDV, then no Dosunmu, then no Slo Mo with an illness, and then we saw Bones Highlands hurt, and he was questionable, so he was definitely limping around. Nas Reed with the shoulder and an ankle. It's like, what? And I said it's probably going to be a war of attrition with their injuries too, but man, I was not to skip over Bones because I don't have a lot to say about Bones. I love Bones. I'm excited for him to get some more run because we're going to need him because we don't have our 2 starting point guards, but the injuries mounting up, I was waiting. I was just the Minnesota sports fan in me, maybe because we were injured. The energy was so good, but I was like, man, can we sustain this? Can we keep this going? Denver kept trying to come back on a run, kept trying to come back, and they couldn't. But I was just waiting for this to fall apart because that's so many people out. That's so many minutes, so many points, so much talent that just isn't out there. And we're going to need Bones to play, so I think it doesn't seem like it's anything serious. He'll rest up, but yeah, not a great Bones Highland game. +4 in a game that we won by 12.
Yeah, I think he's going to be important against the Spurs because the Spurs are going to be able to create more ball pressure, more perimeter pressure. We finished the game, we had a lineup of Terrence Shannon Jr., Jaden, Nas, Julius, and Rudy. I just don't think you can get away with not having a lead ball handler against the Spurs. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think they're going to really attack that. So I think Bones is going to need to play more, which honestly leads me into Mike Conley. I thought Conley, although he was a -1 in 26 minutes, I thought he hit a couple floaters. He hit an important 3. He had 6 boards. I think, Denver attacked him when they could because he's just a little bit smaller. But for him to play 26 solid minutes, that was more than I expected. I thought he was a leader out there. I thought he helped organize things. I'm glad we had him. We really needed him tonight, and he stepped up in a time where it didn't need to be great. We just needed him to not fall apart, and I think he gave us solid 26 minutes when you lost 95% of the guys who are playing your guard minutes.
We needed him. He played the role that we needed him to play. He's not going to be an elite scorer. He's too old. We just need him to orchestrate an offense and make the right play and get people where they need to be. He did his job, and I'm excited to have him just as a steady presence for the Wolves when we get Ant back. Because I'm imagining a starting lineup or even any of these lineups thinking about TJ Shannon, the way he came his coming out party here. We got to talk TJ Shannon a little bit, obviously. I'm excited to see Ant and TJ and Ant and Ayo. Can you Ant, TJ, Ayo, all 3 of them out there? Man, think of the athleticism with those 3 out there.
Yeah.
That's elite level athleticism. The downhill, because Ayo and TJ, man, do they get downhill? I think together would be fun, but if you're staggering their minutes, then you always have somebody who can push the pace and get downhill.
Yeah.
That's fun. And Finch got a lot of shit. Sorry, I swore for saying TJ wasn't ready. He needs to be ready. He called him out after last game. He was like that we benched him, and the internet was like, well, you should have gave him more time in the regular season. And why are you diminishing his confidence by saying this? He held him to a standard, and TJ rose to that occasion. And so as much as Finch, I got quite a few texts. It was like, maybe I was wrong about Finch, or we got to give Finch his flowers too. I agree that the team stepped up. I don't know if it was all Finch, but I just wanted to note that with the TJ stuff, that he was hard on TJ, or seemingly hard on TJ. And then TJ showed up.
Yeah, I think the three guys that I would really want to focus on from this game if I had to, although I think, again, every player deserves their flowers. Everyone who touched the court did something great. It would be Jaden, legacy game. It would be Terrence Shannon Jr., breakout, best game of his career. And it'd probably be Rudy Gobert for what he's done all series. But thinking about Shannon, 35 minutes, and this guy like isn't even playing in half these games. 35 minutes, 24 points, 6 boards, no turnovers. Again, we got a lot of guys with no turnovers. We really took good care of the ball. But he was just lining guys up, like at the top, like just like, okay, I'm gonna dribble. I'm gonna like look at you. I'm gonna do a couple crossovers, but I'm only going left. By the way, has any team ever started 2 guys at the same time who are more left-hand dominant than Terrence Shannon Jr. and Julius Randle? It's like, guys, just don't. I mean, if I'm David Adelman, like, don't let them go to their left hand. Blows my mind, but. Like that dunk on Jokic in the first half.
On the fast break, I think it was Christian Braun. He just TJ's coming with a full head of steam, and he just like looks right just a little bit, and he just bites hard right, and TJ just goes hard left. And I'm just like, clearly the scouting report didn't come in on him.
It blew my mind.
I did see Terrence Shannon Jr. made a right-handed layup with his right hand.
One.
Can you believe it?
Yeah, he made one.
It was one though, but it was notable because you don't ever see it.
I'm left-handed. I feel like my right hand in basketball might be better than his, and I am not good at basketball in comparison to a pro basketball player. But
I'm right-handed, and I know for a fact that my left hand is better than his right hand.
But I can't jump like him. And he hammered one on Jokic in the first half. He had a huge dunk in the second half. His athleticism is insane. His speed, his power. I wish he was better on defense. There's no reason that he shouldn't be better on defense. I will say, like, when he doesn't get put off ball, when he doesn't get put into like actions, you know, he can defend one-on-one really well because he's so athletic, he's so long, he's so strong. But he's done this in preseason. He's done this in random spurts. He's done this in summer league. I mean, he's just a weapon where, like, yeah, he has some weaknesses, but I think he needs more minutes. But like, if he doesn't play like that, I mean, we don't win this game. Also, Christian Braun is terrible. Christian Braun is on a 5-year, like $125 million contract. His contract is bigger than Jaden McDaniels' contract. That guy can't dribble. That guy can't shoot. That guy sucks. I can't believe they gave him all that money. Denver is going to fall apart. Moving on. So Terrence Shannon Jr., gold star, amazing game. I'd say one of the 3 best players. Let's talk about Julius too. Julius had a lot of positive contributions. He had the second highest plus minus on the team, plus 15, played 37 minutes, 18 points. It took him 17 shots. He did have 4 turnovers. We only had 7 turnovers as a team. But I thought he hit some tough shots when we needed it. I thought he had 5 assists. I thought he played really well in spurts. I thought he came alive when we needed him. We just didn't have a lot of scoring, shot creation, so he took a lot of that. He also had some like big, strong minutes down low with boards, with kind of getting Valanciunas with Jokic. They also didn't play Valanciunas, I don't think, in the second half because we just played him off the court. I thought that was kind of funny.
If you would have told me to Julius, I want to rewind to the TJ Shannon real quick and then to Julius. He's imperfect. I'm not saying that TJ's perfect. He's got stuff to work on. The 3 ball, he shot a lot of threes and missed a lot of threes, but so did the whole team. So plenty to work on, but man, is there hope right now with Ayo and TJ for not only this season, right? Whatever happens with the Spurs, we'll talk about the Spurs series next, but just the future of this team. Like those guys, it feels good to be a Wolves fan today. Yeah. Julius Randle, the only person who shot decent from 3-point range. Jaden McDaniels, huge game, but 1 of 4. Julius, 40%, 2 of 5. TJ, 1 of 7. Conley, 1 of 4. Reed, 1 of 3. Clark, 1 of 3. So if you would have told me that was our 3-point stat line, and I just looked at that. Oof.
Yeah, we shot
I would have said
24% as a team from three. They shot 37%.
I would say maybe we don't win the game, but it's the boards. It's the hustle, the downhill play, the point paints. Man, did we just take it to them. So 33 rebounds for Denver to 50. That's
nice.
That's going to win you the game.
That's nice.
That's like a Rockets formula. Like, don't make a lot of shots, but get a lot of rebounds and putbacks.
Well, and I think, again, Shannon, Jaden, everybody else did something positive. I think the third star and probably the biggest star of the series, I don't know, maybe that people would disagree, because it wasn't like he had maybe like unbelievable individual games like Ayo's 40 points or some of the things that Jaden did or like Ant, whatever, but I think it's Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert played 42 minutes, 10 points on 6 shots. He had 13 boards. He had 8 assists and no turnovers. Like I don't know if that's his career high. Maybe he's gotten more than 8 assists in a game before, but 8 assists, no turnovers. He was plus 11. He had a couple blocks. Again, he played such good defense against Jokic. He controlled the paint. I think one of the keys to this series has just been that like Jokic never had like a superstar Jokic game. He had 28 points on 19 shots. He had 9 boards. He had 10 assists, 4 turnovers. He was -9 in his 43 minutes. I don't think he sat the entire second half. And again, that's a great stat line, but it's not the 45 points, 15 rebounds, 15 assists that like I thought he would do once or twice. Rudy played great. We don't win the series without Rudy. Thank you, Rudy Gobert.
Rudy Gobert. Jokic not breaking 30, averaging like 25 points per game in this series when he's averaging like 35 in the regular season against the Wolves, something like that on average.
Yeah.
I mean, he has taken it to the Wolves over and over again, and we've gotten some of those wins, some of those losses. Man, Rudy, Charles has got like trying to get on Shaq to give Rudy his flowers, and Shaq still just wouldn't do it over and over and over again. I don't know what is wrong with that man, why he hates Rudy so much, and why the league just has to hate on Rudy still after this. I think most people are coming around to it, but I think Charles said you got to give Rudy his flowers. I'm like, man, give that man like it's like
give him a garden.
Boatloads of flowers. Like, I don't know. It's out of control. How well he played defensively. He showed up. I do think, obviously, this is with all the talk that Jaden McDaniels did and Jaden McDaniels backing it up. That's going to be one of the main storylines. The Ayo breakout game. Ayo didn't play this game, but when we talk about the series a little bit, we'll have to talk about Ayo. So many storylines, obviously, that where Rudy will get buried, Ant out, DDV snapping his Achilles, all these things. I think that Rudy is going to gets buried a little bit because there was so much to talk about. But man, there was talk about do you need to like not play Rudy in certain spaces? Is he going to get played off the floor? He was the anchor. He's been the anchor of this defense all season. The non-Rudy minutes all season were bad defensively for a reason. And he showed it. He had his assignment and he knew what to do. And he got in collectively, the team got in Jokic's head, but Rudy's the one who led that from the jump from game 2.
Yeah, I think, there's no finals MVP or first round series MVP. But I think if you look at the totality of the 6 games, I think Rudy would be our series MVP for what he just did.
Can we give, Dads and Dunks series MVP?
Yeah.
And like maybe find Rudy, hand him a
I could have my daughter like draw a trophy and put glitter on it, and then I could cut it out and I could mail it to him, and they would think it's like anthrax or something probably, but yes.
Yeah, I don't know that they would let that in. Yeah, Rudy, not a whole lot else for me to say there other than he deserves all the credit. We'll talk about in our next pod, our Spurs preview, what that looks like, how we think we're going to match up to the Spurs with Rudy and what that looks like. I'm not quite as confident, but I wasn't as confident that he could stop Jokic, and he did.
Hey,
so
you said Wolves in 7. I said Wolves in 6, but we both predicted Wolves win. So to all those ESPN personalities, national personalities, nobody picked the Wolves. If you guys need some NBA experts, dadsanddunks@gmail.com. We're happy to jump on your show, help you guys understand what the Wolves can and cannot do. If you need help on the NBA, again, we're here. We're happy to support you. I didn't have Orlando being up. What are they up 3-2 against Detroit? I didn't have that on my scorecard, but I think we had some good predictions for the
Speaking of
Wolves.
another really athletic team,
Yeah.
yeah. Speaking of another like young athletic team, Orlando. It seems to be a trend. Young athletic teams taking it to people. Turns out when you have more athletic players than the other team, you have an advantage.
Well, I think, thinking about the series in totality, I think we can talk a lot about what the Wolves did. Again, Rudy's defense on Jokic. I think Jaden's defense on Jamal Murray. But I think this has just got to be demoralizing if you're a Nuggets fan. I mean, we'll get back to the Wolves positives in a second, but like, oh, we didn't have Aaron Gordon for a couple games, and oh, Peyton Watson isn't playing. I saw people on Twitter being like they're more impactful than Ant and Donte. I'm like, who are you? Like, what are you talking about? Ant is a top 10, probably top 5 player in the NBA. You're saying Peyton Watson is just as impactful? The Wolves didn't have 3 of their 7 best players. Again, 95% of their guard minutes did not play last night. We didn't have 4 of our best 9 players, and we just beat the crap out of the Nuggets. David Adelman is the worst. I used to like the Nuggets. I think they got to tear this entire team down. I got to imagine they fire him. You can't rely on Aaron Gordon. You can't count on him to stay healthy. Jamal Murray, fragile soul. Jokic is great, but like if Jokic is this good and you can't get out of the first round, I saw an interesting stat. Jokic has never beat a team in the playoffs that won 50 games during the regular season. So like even their championship run, they played the 8th seed Miami Heat in the finals, which was kind of weird, but that's who they played. They've never beaten a team that won 50 games in the regular season. So if you're a Nuggets fan, like I woke up on the highest of highs being a Wolves fan. If you're a Nuggets fan, like what are you going through? You're like, we have the best, well, maybe he's not the best player in the league anymore. We have one of the 3 best players on planet Earth. Jamal Murray's all-star for the first time. You got Christian Braun starting a $125 million extension. Oh my gosh. I would be in it if I was a Nuggets fan or front office person.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, shout out Alex Shepard, who lives in Denver, a buddy of mine, but a Wolves fan. When I asked him how's Denver feeling about this series ahead of the series, he was like, they're confident, but the chatter is they wish they wouldn't have got the Wolves. I bet they do wish they wouldn't have got the Wolves now. Also, I think they're delusional. As a Minnesota sports fan, I'm always like so optimistic and also so realistic, I feel like, about my team's flaws because we just haven't won at that level. There's this Minnesota sports fandom. Denver fans seem delusional to me when I'm reading their comments about their team.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're fine, but like you had one of the worst defenses in the NBA.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't stop our bench from scoring 120 points on you. To the Adelman thing, also shout out Evan listens, and he said Chris Finch outcoached No David by a mile despite his flaws. So he's obviously following the No David
No,
Twitter
David.
trolling, which I love. So head over on Twitter, like the No David tweets. Yeah, I mean Jaden and Rudy just terrorized Jamal Murray. Also, Jamal Murray had been playing well, and then they took it to Murray. Yeah, what else was my notes? Yeah, the Denver fans, man, pull it together. Go cry in your Cheerios this morning, and your team's getting blown up. Your team is getting absolutely blown up after this season. There's no way it can't. They got to rebuild that thing.
Kind of to encompass your thing about like they should have played us. I did like Chris Finch's quotes post game. I know you're normally the post game quote guy, but Finch said, quote, "Our guys took it personal. Denver had the chance to pick who they wanted to play coming down the stretch, and they chose us. We used that as motivation. They didn't have to choose us. They chose us. Our guys were up for the challenge of that." And I agree. I feel like we just tried harder. That's why we won.
The energy, well, the Ayo game. So we haven't talked about Ayo because Ayo didn't play. So in the series, the Ayo breakout game, I think we have to talk about his ascension. If he would have played again, then maybe we don't get the TJ Shannon breakout game. So I think it was really good. Evan again, maybe you text me. Everyone's texting me. So his take too was that he thought it was good for Ayo to see TJ and other people step up too, because I think that there was a lot of external pressure and probably internal pressure for Ayo to step up in Ant's absence. And I think that that's a lot. Not that he did rise to the occasion, but then he had a not so amazing game. Not that it was bad, but I think that that's a lot to put on Ayo to be like, hey, you need to be the guy that scores 30 points in 25 every night in Ant's absence, in DDV's absence. And so to see that TJ can step up and do that, and Jaden can step up and have a big game, I do think bodes well for just, I mean, obviously you get a win, but team morale being like, hey, any of us can score on any given night. We all can hoop. And when this team's confident, we talked about this before, when they're confident and their energy is good, it's infectious. And that will to play, that energy, that fun. They didn't have fun energy in game 5. Jaden would get a big dunk or they'd nail a big 3, and then they would just like frantically, like in a worried tizzy, try to get back on defense. And the bench wasn't having fun. Like this game, there was energy, there was fun, there was an intense focus, but they were enjoying it together again. And I think when this team's having fun and rolling, they're tough, as we said in the series preview. When they're rolling and having fun, they're a tough team to beat. But having Ant back obviously will be helpful. But we'll talk about that in the Spurs recap. Anything on Ayo? Obviously, he didn't play this game. Love to see his ascension too, though.
Yeah, not to keep referencing, we'll talk about the Spurs later, but I'm really interested to see, the reason I feel like we were so effective is like the rebounding, the effort, but also the ability that we could just attack the rim. To your point, like they don't really have any good defensive players on Denver. To Jaden's point, the Spurs are the opposite. I mean, the Spurs can really pressure the ball. They have Victor Wembanyama in the paint. Like you're going from maybe the worst rim protection to maybe the second best rim protection in the league. So with our best shooters out, I just wonder, like, what does that look like? I think, yeah, Denver has this amazing offense. They have great individual players, but being more athletic than them, being able to attack them downhill, the fact that we like win after that advantage was really compelling. I'm just curious. I wonder what those advantages that we're gonna try to spam over and over again against the Spurs will be. But I don't know. It's interesting. Like Denver won a championship, so like we haven't. They're better in that regards. But we beat them the last 2 playoff series. I am like not worried about playing Denver ever again. I think we like own their soul, their fragile soul. Yeah, I'm glad we beat them. Finch does a really great job when we have some time to prepare for a series. I think him and his staff seem to really get the team ready. It'll be interesting. Spurs is probably gonna be every other day. We play on Monday. It's Friday, so be interesting to see what they can do in the turnaround.
Yeah, a little foreshadowing to this next pod here that we're going to do on the Spurs preview. We'll do a short Spurs preview pod. Before we wrap it here, I do want to give a shout out to Chris Finch and his staff. They had time to prepare for a team, but then they also took curveballs. They took the Ant and DDV injuries. They took Ayo being out and then even Slo Mo being out. I mean, they had to change things on the fly in a way that was pretty impressive to see. I do think in a way they had a lot of time to prepare for the series, but then they had a lot of curveballs in the series that they did have to adapt to. That I do want to just give them their flowers to that staff. And we'll probably lose Mike and Nori at some point to somebody because he's a big part of that too. Shout out to him for getting these players ready. But anything else before we wrap and then head to the Spurs preview pod next?
Go Wolves. Love the effort. Love the heart. Jaden, Legacy Series. Rudy, people should better respect you. Terrence Shannon Jr., thank you so much. We appreciate your service.
What a series. I think like I got my Fitbit on, my heart rate's still at like 100. Just thinking about this game, rushing around this morning, getting kids out the door and getting things ready to go for the pod today. I'm amped. I'm excited. Next up is the Spurs. This is Dads and Dunks, your To The Point Wolves Talk podcast. Follow, rate, like, subscribe, and tell a friend. Go Wolves.